You listen to these old recordings, you rarely hear them play a note out of place like Stan Getz was playing in the 50s.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
And then you hear a recording like Coleman Hawkins playing over The Way You Look Tonight. He's kind of approaching it with his pre-bebop shit. And he's playing over this song. You break down the way he's playing the changes, it's perfect. These cats are playing perfect solos. Like the changes rounded out really nicely in every line they played. And it was just the way they played, the information we have, and now the way people are learning to play. I'm still battling it to this day, but like, you know, playing some like modern angular shit, but not quite going over the changes, but it's still sounding like cool, and like your sound is cool, and like it kind of works, and then like people still think it sounds good, and you're getting white boys hype in the jazz club over it, but it's just some out shit. Plenty of people nowadays don't even like to play changes whatsoever. When you look at those guys in the 50s, 60s, like they weren't missing shit, bro. Yeah. So you got to learn how to do that most importantly. Well, I'd say most importantly is the sound thing. But then like part of what comes with playing those perfect phrases is the facility thing. But then you also need to have the information in your ear to like use your facility to make those things in real time. And involved in that process is a lot of like, if you can be like an AI and fucking generate the pattern to fit perfectly over the changes, it might sound robotic, but the more you're able to do those things in perfect time without fail, like the better you'll be able to create those really melodic things. Because if you break down with the melodic things they're playing, like Stan Getz is playing over that shit, or like Herbie would play, and he's doing kind of like a, like he's kind of taking a phrase and like buttoning it together. That's really Playingmaxxing, like sound, and then getting a facility and the auto pattern generation thing together to where you can like craft these pitch perfect melodies. Piano also has a big part to do with it, because like when I realize like how shit goes on the piano, now I can do these voice leading things so much better. And one of my favorite ones I've been fucking with recently is like on a 2/5, doing the 7 of the 2 and then the sharp 11 of 5 into the 9 of the tonic. That's been one of my favorite things to do. But then you also realize, depending on the context of the changes outside of it, you can't just treat willy-nilly like the fucking dominant chord like it's anything. You have to really have a specific set of and this comes with playing the pitch perfect melody. Like you have to know the proper extensions that make sense in the context of that melody. So like at the end of the bridge and milestones on those 2/5s, like you shouldn't play any altered characteristics of those dominant chords because of the chromatic 2/5s going into each other, because it's like a chromatic 2/5 in A flat, then an A, and then to B flat, and they go up like this. And you can't just play like altered things, because then the altered ones of those are, because of the half step relationship, it's too close. It's gonna muddy up the voice leading. So you have to play a pitch perfect melody like really like good over the and oftentimes what somebody like Eric Alexander would do in that situation is they just lay it down like in a different key, and perhaps in the third key after that too. And then some basic motif, but like you need to know what you're doing to do that. And sure, that might sound corny, but if you're able to do that without fail over any tune, perfect changes, and even if like the change is like anticipated, if it's like a more like complex like modernish tune, getting those in the mix. You feel me? And then because that comes in, that type of shit comes into play when you're playing these really hard modern songs with the might have a bar of 3/8, and you have to like, bro, shit you have to go through. So another way to playing max is like do the rhythmic pyramid thing. So like for tunes it would be like 1 through 7 or 1 through 8 notes. So you do one note every measure, then 2 notes every measure, then 3 notes every measure, 4 notes every measure, 5 notes every measure, 6 notes every measure, 7 notes every measure, 8 notes every measure. And then you'll have to approximate, like, if you're doing 5, for example, and there's like a chord on beat 1 moving to a chord on beat 3, and you're doing the 5, you have to decide whether you're going to do it 2-3 or 3-2 moving to that chord. And to be able to fuck with it in a specific way by your own volition and knowing that type of shit is involved in playing maxing. But yeah, the rhythmic pyramid shit, and then going down, and then yeah, putting tunes in odd meters is really helpful. When you're able to do all those things, then you're pretty much good for any playing situation. And then you can just, then after that, it gets really hard to keep playing maxing after a certain point. You know, you do all these things that I mentioned previously, and then you just get to this point, bro, like, you know, you've had good playing experience, but you would like some more, and like it's hard to seek out like musicians that you have to really like max out like your connections and like go for it, like go out and on the scene or whatever, hang at the gigs, and so you can get the better playing opportunities and just get acquainted with, like, you know, say if you look up to somebody like Stephen Fife Key, you really want to play with him and pick his brain, or you really like playing with Stacy Dillard, some shit like this. You like playing with one of these type of cats, and they're like 20 plus years older than you, and like you want to, like, you know, you kind of strike up a vibe. You got to pursue these to get better at a certain point, because like it becomes such an external factor sometimes when you get to a certain level of playing maxing. It's like you need these like high level playing opportunities to get better, because you see the people that are out there that were given these playing opportunities since they were 18, and sure, they were already a really goated level, but then they continue to get better because of those playing opportunities. You get to a fucking ceiling like that, and it's really hard to break out of it. And so you either have to really double down on your practice, which I've been trying to learn how to do, and like I feel like me playing piano is like what's giving me the breakthroughs right now and continuing my playing of other instruments. But then you see these people getting the playing opportunities, and they just keep getting better. And as a saxophone player, it gets hard because like bass players and drummers are getting these opportunities a lot more. So my current state of playing maxing, I'm just like, I'm really trying to get the sound, like just keep working on it, because that's what I've been like known for and consistent about. Continuing to refine the whole like playing changes perfectly thing, like on a daily basis. And yeah, just applying the piano, transcribing Kenny Kirkland. But I think about all the things I could be doing, and like if I was truly practicing 5 to 6 hours a day again, then I could be doing those things and maybe seeing even more results.